But guys and girls, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Hope you're all well. Appreciate every single one of you tuning in to the Mindset Mondays. Basically, YouTube's just trying to fuck me about lately. Won't let me go live. Struggling to do things on the back end that are super simple things to just connect a fucking camera to this. So this is kind of gonna go in well because a lot of this is about emotion. So I feel like the universe is testing me to prepare me for this call and talk about, you know, getting everything the right way. Because when your emotions are all over the place, you do stupid things, you say stupid shit, you act a different way. And for me, you know, that 20 minutes getting up onto this call, I'm going to be honest, I nearly lost my head. I was nearly like, fuck it, and I'm just going to do it on my phone. But I don't know what YouTube's on with lately, but it's really starting to bug me. So we're going to find maybe another way to do this. But just for a quick reference, the Leeds event has sold out. We've got 200 people done and dusted for that in the event. That's on the 24th of January. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I appreciate every single one of you who made the commitment to lock in and come there. We'll be doing plenty more events. And this is where, like, I'm a big believer that the people who take action are the ones who will get rewarded off the back of that. So the 24th, I look forward to seeing every single one of you there. But in tonight's call, you know, the topic of this conversation is to kind of go over why your emotions are costing you money. And kind of the start of this call was kind of a little bit of probably a little bit of a test, if you will, to kind of see where my emotions are, because like I can lose my shit like this. And that's something that I'm getting better at, that I'm working on, that I'm trying to, you know, become the best version of me all day, every day. You see the social media version of Bradley. You see the ones where things work perfectly. But life isn't always like that, you know. You're not always going to have, you know, that where it works 100% of the time, all day, every day. And we can relate this into trading. So when you look into the trading space right now, what I want you to go in and, you know, really, really ask yourself is, are your emotions costing you money? And I don't just necessarily mean in trading. I want you to answer this in chat. Do you believe that your emotions are costing you money day in, day out? Right? Because if you start to look at this, I know for me, when I first got started in this space, it was, right? I was the one who was in my own brain. I'd get brain fog. You know, I'd feel a certain type of way when I was trading, when I was over leveraging, when I was gambling, you know, when I was doing certain things that I knew I shouldn't have been doing. And the people that are jumping on this call to ask, you know, conversations about trading, you're in the wrong channel. This is about mindset tonight. I'm not going to sit here and answer, what do I do once I've hit take profit one? There was a call last night that I would probably put a little bit of a guesstimate on that you might not have been on, right? So again, like the conversation about trading, go on the other calls and do that. Tonight's call is around mindset, psychology, and why you're actually not getting the results that you want. Everyone in this chat is talking about how they've made money, they've got the results, you know, they've been able to get to a position where they're quitting their job, they're doing this full time. Not everyone, by the way, but there's a lot of people who are doing this full time. I want you guys to write in the chat, you know, if you actually have made profit today, because we've only had, I believe, 1 or 2 stop losses out of like 8 or 9 trades. It's been a phenomenal day. So again, this comes down to, I want you guys to be honest when you're doing this type of stuff, because are you the reason why you're not making money? Because if you're typing in this chat right now, I can see people saying, no, I haven't. But then there's other people saying, yes, up 8%, up 8%, do this. Right? So you can read the chat. If you're not making profits and other people are, there's a common denominator. You. Right? It's very, very easy to look and say, oh, well, it's because of this, and this. It's because of the trades. No. It's you. Everyone else has the same time in the day. Whether you work, whether you've got family commitments, whether you've got other things going on, we all have other commitments that we're working on and working towards, right? So if people in here are saying, oh, the stop loss blew my account, that's a lesson for you. You over leveraged, you gambled, you deserve to lose. If one trade wipes your account, then that's a karmic cycle that you're not breaking. You're going through the same patterns over and over and over and over and over again. Whether you're making £3.37, £3.92, you made £88, £538, right? Whatever your results are, they're a direct relation to you, your habits, your discipline, the way you're acting, and a lot of this is an emotional state. So if you look at your day-to-day trading, if you're up 50, 60, 70 pounds and you've got a 300, 400, 500 pound account, why are you still trading? Right? Why are you still entering the market over and over and over and over again to feed that dopamine hit, to try and make more money? Because you haven't mastered the element of discipline yet. You haven't mastered the emotion and the kind of feeling behind it, right? So if you start to look at that type of stuff there, if you're new, this is easier for you because there's no bad habits. Like the amount of people that I've seen recently joining the community that haven't watched the getting started videos, haven't watched the playlist that they're sent, they haven't watched the basic video that gets put into the back end that when they create an account, blows my brain. There's a PDF on a step-by-step. And then they're in the support channel saying, oh, I don't understand why my account says this. Did you look at the PDF? No. Did you watch the videos? No. So everything is a common denominator back to you. We can give you the tools, the blueprint, the this, the that, everything. But if you just fuck it off and you close your eyes, you deserve to lose. Who agrees with that? Who genuinely thinks that if they're not following what is sent out, they deserve to lose? Yes or no? In the chat. I'd be very interested to see the overall thoughts on that. If you're following the trades and they lose, that's a different story. Right? A lot of you agree. That's fantastic. There'll be some of you who don't agree, but don't dare say it. Right? Chat's blowing up. This is what I love to see. Engage. Makes me hyped. I need to remove that first 14 minutes. I've still not got there yet. I'm still just getting into flow. All right? But if you guys are on this call and you're in a position where you're starting to, we were sat at dinner today and one of the guys who's doing all the content with us, the short form, there was no trade. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to have a little flutter. Don't get me wrong, he caught the trade, he made some money. But how many of you are guilty of that? How many of you are guilty of taking trades when there's no trades being sent? How many of you are like, oh, I wish there was more trades? When there's not any trades being sent. There might be a 15, 20, 30 minute, 40 minute, 50 minute gap. Right? You're hunting on your phone for that 1 minute candle to do something, and you're hoping that you can go there and make some money, but you're already in profit. And that one trade goes and fucks you, goes and takes your money. And you're like, oh my God, why is the market doing this to me? It's because you're not learning. So when I look at this on here, like I looked for a few things that, I was gonna kind of go through. You're not respecting the market. You're not respecting the energetical side of things because you guys are looking to extract money, extrapolate money out of it. Who here is to make money, right? We're not here to just keep gifting it to the broker, gifting it to the market. We're here to make money. So if you see a trade come through and it's got the exact coordinates, wouldn't it be wise to follow them? Remove your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your kind of whatever you're believing. Yes, it's all-time highs, but you're thinking it's got to come down. Nope. Right? You end up losing your account. So as you start to go through things and you start to see the patterns that you're going through, the emotions that you're riding. Like I remember when I was trading and I'd be driving down the motorway, I'd have brain fog, and I couldn't understand why everyone else around me was making money and I wasn't. I was seeing results, yet I was losing. It was my own emotional attachment to money. Right? I had to remove what I felt around my emotional traumas, if you will, towards money, what I'd grown up seeing, what I thought was a lot of money, and realize that there's people making eye-watering money to do this. Like when I look back at my granddad had a gambling addiction. That passed on to me. I was like, wow, okay. So now when I'm gambling and I'm playing poker and I'm doing other things online, I'm spinning the roulette while I'm waiting for my cup of tea to boil. I was like, I know where that comes from. So the quicker you can start to identify the patterns that you're going through, the emotional aspect of it will become a lot easier. The trading journey will become a lot easier because you start to realize that old version of you that's creeping back in. And a lot of people don't want to wait for money. Everyone now has, a microwave mindset. They're wanting that quick money, that quick dopamine hit. That's why Instagram Reels, TikTok Reels, YouTube Shorts, that's why all of them are absolutely on fire and they're crushing people's brains and frying them to bits because people are just craving that next dopamine hit. Like before you know it, it's 2 a.m. in the morning and you've no idea how you got there because you got into bed at 10. Right? So when you start to go through this journey in the pattern of like self-actualization or realization, whatever the right word is there, you start to look internal and you start to realize that you're the problem. Everything around you starts to almost come into place. It almost becomes like a little bit of a jigsaw piece, like a bit of a puzzle, if you will. And I started to realize, and again, I hope you guys can relate to this, you realize that you are doing things to self-sabotage your own journey. You're the one who is stopping you getting to that next level because you make the decision to get started, you make the decision to take the trades, you make the decision to follow it, and your account grows like this, and you're like, wow, okay, this is amazing. The universe is looking at you and saying, hey, why this guy's following the system, he's doing what he said he was going to do, but then you go against it. You start doing different things, you start following other things, and you're like, wow, okay, wait, he's not really understanding it. He's not really getting it now. He's starting to do his own thing again. That's what got you into the financial situation that you're in right now. And some of you might be sat on this call, really affluent. You might be in a good position. You might be making great money. But if you're sat there and your bank account's dry and you're wanting to make more money, would it not be clever to follow people before you that have got the results that you want, that are taking the trades that you're doing? Right? So as you go through that journey of yourself, the more income you make, the more hurdles are going to come in your way, the more things are going to step into your way, the more kind of problems are going to come up, the more barriers to money is going to happen. And I talk about your financial thermostat all the time. But if your emotions are the things that are checking you out and that are getting in your way, you're going to get to that point where eventually something comes in and tests you. Who here feels like they're getting tested right now? Over and over and over again. Who here feels like things are cropping up to see if they're ready for that next level? I know for me it is. I know there's things that crop up even now with the income that I'm earning, the lifestyle that I've got. There's things that come up that make me think, right, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Am I aligned with where I'm going? Am I kind of 100% on what it is that I'm planning on doing? Like, I'm already planning a year, 2 years down the line because I see where the industry is. I see where the space is. So I want to make sure that every single one of you that's on this call, there's 682, 703 now of you on this call that are actually paying attention. So in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, who here agrees that you'll be in a better position? Right? Who here agrees that they'll be in a better position in 6 to 12 months' time? Who here agrees? Good. Good. And if you don't, you might not be here in 3 to 6 months. And I'm okay with that. Like I say on all these calls, there's 600 and odd of you right now that are figments of my imagination that are just live on this call. We might meet, we might not. We might meet, we might not. We might meet, we might not. Hopefully we do. That's why I'm hosting events, doing all of this stuff that we're doing right now. But being in a position to actually follow a plan that is proven by someone else is what's going to get you to a position where you're going to be able to promise yourself to get to that next level. So if we look at like what calm traders do, what people who have got no emotions, what are they doing differently to you? So people who are profiting right now, what do you think kind of things that they're doing on a day-to-day, what are they doing differently to you? And this is the type of stuff when we're doing these calls, bring a notepad, bring a pen, bring a journal, and start to write down things that come up, feelings that come to life, right? What is it that's coming up when I talk about this stuff? Like, because you'll notice patterns and habits, but you might not address it. So someone's put there, not over-leveraging, acting like a robot, taking emotion out of the trades, exercising, risk to reward, consistency, meditating, you. So if you guys understand that everything's already there for you, there's people in this group making multiple 5, if not 6 figures per month from trading. They don't have a clue what a candle is. They don't have a clue about the time frames. They don't have a clue about support and resistance. They don't have a clue about all of the other noise that's going in the background. They're not sat with 16 monitors in front of them. They get a notification, they click buy or sell. They modify the position with the stop loss and the take profit. If the trader says go break even, they put the stop loss above break even. So worst case scenario, they lose nothing. So if you start to go through all of this and you follow everything that you're doing, you start to follow the process, you start to trust the process more importantly, and just understand that it's all part of the journey. Like for me, when I was going through my thoughts and feelings, I was like, right, okay, well, at the beginning, I wasn't making any money. I was losing, depositing. Because I think sometimes we go into a position where we want to feel safe, because that's an area that we know that we can control. So some of you that are editing the trades, that are editing the stop losses, that are editing the take profits, you're doing that so that there's an element of control there for you. You're wanting to do that so that you feel like, oh wow, I've done this. So you can print screen it to a friend and say, hey, I've made this money. The quicker you can remove that feeling of wanting to do that, you will start to get the results. You'll start to push forward. We've been putting out these type of results now for 18 months to 2 years, consistently, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, almost year out. So that's what I'm saying. If you guys can stick around and just do what it is that we're showing you how to do and remove your emotions and your feelings around this, you're going to be in such a better position. And a lot of you will let kind of one trade define you. It'll stop you from taking the next trade. Who here has taken an L or a stop loss, and then you're fearful and worried about taking the next trade? Doubt starts to kick in. Like all of the other stuff starts to creep into your mindset about, oh my God, well, what if that next one loses as well? I was the person who, I didn't want to take back-to-back trades because I didn't want back-to-back L's. Whereas now I'm just so numb to it, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Get on with the rest of my day. If it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses. So what? Right? So if you guys on here start to understand that that's the stuff that you're going to come up with, you're going to start to go through all of this journey. We always talk about the devil on the shoulder, the part of you coming out of the closet that you didn't know that was there. You might walk around like a super, like cool cucumber all day, every day. But when it comes to trading, it will bring out the worst in you. It will bring out parts of you that you did not know existed. Right? It'll bring out elements of you that you didn't know was put into your brain when you were a kid. All of this type of stuff is what absolutely makes me thrive. Because I understand that if I can control this, I can control my emotion. I lost it a little bit before this because we rushed getting it started. I tried to use a different streaming software rather than just going live. It didn't connect. I fucking lost my head. And the cloud came back over. A lot of you have that emotion, that feeling when the trades are going the wrong way. You're over leveraged, you're close to blowing your account, you're close to getting margin called, you're not in a position where you want to be, and you're not sure if to close the trade, you're not sure if to add more buys or more sells, you're not sure if to, hedge the trades and put the same one either side, and you end up in such a kerfuffle that you don't know what to do. You start to panic, you start to worry, you start to get anxious, you start to get fearful, anxiety, all this other stuff kicks in. And then you're in a position then where you're even worse off because now you've ruined your day from a trade, which in my opinion is stupid. There are some things that ruin my day today, but I'm never going to let it be trading because I cannot control the markets. I can control what I let inside to me. I can control what I let affect me. Don't get me wrong, there's still things that trigger the living daylights out of me, and I'm getting better with that. So you have to be so aware of what you're letting into you on a day-to-day basis because that will affect the outcome of the trades. Right? So if you start to understand and you start to see that over and over and over and over and over again, would it not be wise to get a pen and paper and write that down? Would it not be wise to just sit there and be like, right, okay, well, maybe these couple of pointers here, if I address them, I'll be a better rounded individual all round, not just in trading. If I start to see the trigger warnings that are for me, like I know what triggers me. So I'm starting to be like, whoa, wait a minute. My phone's been on Do Not Disturb a week. 1 week. It's incredible. I have notifications coming through on WhatsApp. I have only where certain numbers can call me. If they need me, they'll message me a couple of times or ring me a few times. My stress levels down. I'm not getting a million notifications. I run 287 Telegram channels at the moment, if not more. The stress of that ping, 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 all day. I'm like, nope, don't need that anymore. I'm more active now. I'm able to operate at a higher level, focus on the business, focus on things that's moving me forward, right? Because a lot of you in this chat, you come onto this call to vent, to hope that someone else has had the same experience as you, the same reaction. Someone's just put there, I keep blowing my account by over trading. Like it's a pattern. Right? So if you notice that and you see it's a common thing over and over again, then why are you doing it? I'll just give you my PayPal address. I'll send you my Revolut. I'll do more good with that money. If you want to gamble, you want to over leverage, you want to flick a coin, I'll put my Revolut in here. I'll go do some cool shit with it, right? I will. I'll have a go. I'll try do some fun things and I'll video it at the same time. And then at least that way then you get to watch some cool stuff, right? Someone's mentioned about the Bob Proctor stuff. I'm not sure what you would like to know from that front, but yeah, 6 years with that. It was a life-changing experience, like just being around that type of energy, that type of individual, changed my life, made me really realize the power of what it is that we are and understanding that we truly can have everything that we want. A lot of you on this call don't understand the power of it. You don't understand the power of our own brains, our own thoughts, our own feelings. That's why I'm so conscious now on who am I actively engaging with on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis. Because if I let too much in, the stuff that I'm wanting to do from a higher level, I cannot perform. So now if I understand that, if I try to make sure that, let's say this is on 100% energy from the moment I wake up. If I let things creep in, that are going to take a couple of percent of that, a couple of percent. By the time it gets to me doing good meetings, good calls, I'm already partially drained. I'm not in a great position where I can operate at the best that I can be. So for me, and for you guys on this call, would it not be I don't know what the right word is here, but would it not be best for you to try and operate on a high level of frequency, a high energy, all day, every day? It would. Right? You would be in a better position if you operated at a higher level all day, every day, and you didn't get into these little funks, because ultimately the stuff that pisses us off, that puts us into a negative mindset, that puts us into a downward spiral for the day, the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. Absolutely zero. Yeah, absolutely. And some of you, like on these calls, you come here to feed your negative thoughts. You want, negative attracts negative. That's why in these calls, I never read out the negative stuff. Because for me, we don't have stop losses. We have a couple of lessons every now and again. But overall, from a day, from a week, from a month, from a year, it's positive. We're winning. We're growing. We're getting better. We're getting faster, stronger. We're making more money. I'm in a much better position now than I was a month, 2 months, 6 months, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago. But if I focused on that one deal that I lost a couple of $100,000, and I could have had that, and I used to play professional football, and I could have got signed by them, and I used to sprint for Leeds in England, and I don't do that anymore, and I could have been the fastest in the world, and I coulda, woulda, shoulda. You focus on all the old shit, the old negative versions of you, all the bad versions of things, but you don't spend the time to actually look at the positives. You don't think about, all right, I've taken 7 trades today, 5 of them were wins, 2 were losses. Huh. And people asking questions in the chat, why do they panic, and why do they get stressed, and why do they get anxious? Because it's a pattern. Go write down why. You're asking us on this call, why this, why this, why this, why this, why this. Go write it down. They call it the 7 levels of why. So someone's wrote there, why do I panic? Well, go write down, why do I panic, and answer it. But why is that a thing? Well, why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? And it'll be nothing to do with the reason that you think that you're panicking. It'll be something to do with maybe 25 years ago when you were 7 years of age, your mum or dad or grandma or granddad said something that relates to that, and it's an emotional trauma from when you were a child, potentially. Who knows? Most people don't dig into that type of stuff because it's an emotion, it's a feeling. It provokes a certain outcome. But if I can go back and I can destroy everything, all the old feelings, all the old programmings, everything that I thought was going to, hold me back, now there's nothing there because I've addressed it. Yes, my granddad was a stinking gambling addict. He lost every penny that he ever owned. He won the pools. He could have bought a house that's now worth 3.4 million for £18,000. Didn't want to get £1,000 mortgage, so he put it on red split 0-3 on the roulette, and then impressed the whole of his life into my mum and my dad about why money is bad, why money is the root of all evil. So again, I didn't know that growing up. I'm just sat watching fucking Cartoon Network, wondering why my granddad's coming round every day, eating a ham and mustard sandwich before he goes somewhere every day. Could never buy me Christmas presents, could never buy me birthday presents. All of the stuff that he always give me were handmade, which back then I was like, oh, this is nice. My granddad's trying to hand make things for me. It's because he had no money. Every penny that he had went into the casino. Crazy. So then I wonder when I get older, I've not addressed that. It wasn't until I started going to therapy sessions and I was like, why have I got such a bad energy sometimes around money? Started to unpack all of this stuff, remembering my granddad on the sofa, remembering this, remembering that, remembering the other, remembering conversations, remembering all the other stuff. I was like, fucking hell. Yoink. Business grows. Start making more money. Trading becomes easier. It's like, wow, okay. Thinking about relationships. Why have I got bad people around me? Well, wait a minute. Let me look at this. Started going deep into that. Started to cut off bad people, started to get rid of negative friends, started to get rid of the people who were draining on me, starting to pull on me, starting to almost be like leeches. Now, incredible group of friends around me. People who genuinely want to see me win. Communities are thriving, filling out events, people travelling from all over the world to come over to Marbella, to come to the UK. Why is that? My energy has shifted onto another plane, if you will, another kind of like timeline. Who here is ready for the next timeline? Who here is ready to make more money? Who here wants to have a better life for their family, for their friends, for their loved ones, for those around them? You can't do that by being the old fucking broke version of you. And I don't mean monetary wise. Broke mindset, broke attitude, broke discipline, broke consistency. Say you're going to do things and you don't. The old negative attitude that you carry on life with you. All of this other shit. You're talking about becoming that best version of you, but you still turn up like a bum. And I'm talking to the old version of me, because that's what I used to do. I used to want this and operate like this. And I was like, why does the universe not want me to win? Why does the universe not want to see me get better? Why does the universe not want me to become the best version of myself? It was all down to me. Every single time, it all comes back to me. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. I want you to go away from this call. I want you to get a blank pen and paper, and I want you to write down on 2 sides the negative attributes of you. I want you to write down everything negative that comes up to your head when you think. Trading, mindset, business, relationships, whatever it is, write it down. And start to look at what of them can be changed today. What of them can be changed immediately, immediate effect. What of them can be changed like right now. So write that down. Write down the issues. Boom, 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 boom. Change it. But then on the other side, I want you to write down the positive attributes of you. As much as you can. And then if you've got a partner, if you've got a friend close to you, if you've got a spouse, I want you to ask them, this is a big one, I want you to ask them the same thing. The good and the bad. Because what you will find is the things that you see negative in yourself, these close people who love you to bits, they don't. They don't see that. It's only us. We're creatures of wanting perfection. We want to always become the best versions of ourselves. We want to always be the best. So we put like almost like targets or things on our back that we can never match based on our own things. Like me, I've got the biggest of goals. So when things don't happen, I'm like, wow, okay, maybe. So I want you to go write down the good, the bad. I want you to go and ask a partner, a friend, a family, a loved one also to do the same. And I want you to start doing the internal work to try and fix the thoughts that you have of yourself that you shouldn't have. Who here is actually going to do that in the chat? Like, this will be the main thing. Who here will actually take the time to go and do this? Because this is the stuff that takes people from making the money that they're making right now, the lifestyle that they're living right now, the income that they're generating right now, to going and taking that level of leap, if you will, to becoming that next version of themselves. You've almost got to start seeing that current version of you as to where you want to be. How do you walk? How do you talk? How do you act? How do you shake hands? How do you look people in the eye? How do you drink your coffee? Does that future version of you operate at the highest version of you? Does it vape? Does it smoke? Does it do X, Y, Z? If the answers are no, well then why are you doing it now? You're just delaying the inevitable version of you that you want to get. So some things are going to change immediately. Some things are going to be hard to change. Some things will change and then they'll keep reappearing. They'll keep doing things. They'll keep kind of getting into different versions of you. And you'll get to a position where you're like, man, things need to change. So guys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you tuning in. If you haven't already done so, drop a like. And then after this call, we did it last time, I want you to go away and I want you to write down like a positive line that you're going to say to yourself in 6 months' time if you come back and read the comments. So I want you to go away and comment on it and read something about yourself positive in 6 months. And I want you to go away and write this down on a piece of paper as well. Okay? So guys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you as per usual. We got a little bit delayed on the start of this. I appreciate those of you who stuck around, who weathered it out with me, who saw the emotions behind me as well, because I definitely felt it. But I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you on the next call next week. And hopefully the YouTube will be good to rock. So guys, see you later. Good night. Bye-bye.